Hi everyone. I'm not going to cry profusely this time. Um, my last vlog was pretty raw, and I wanted to do another one to kind of address what was going on the last time I hit record. It was a lot. I went back and I just watched part of the last vlog, and boy, I had a lot to get out. So I had, every time I have an appointment with the oncology psychologist, there's always some like great gem that I pick up after work from him that I share with you. This week, no different. And I can't remember if I had mentioned to you or not, but my last appointment with oncology, we were talking about, just check-in. I do a check-in pretty much every 3 months when I go in for my Lupron, just to see how things are going, what's new, whatever. So there's obviously the latest what's new was a little involved because personally I've had a lot of stuff going on. Part of the reason why there's nothing behind me is because there's nothing behind me. I am in my living room, which now has 3 pieces of furniture in it, which is great. The vlog, the last one, actually motivated me to put together my credenza. I ordered a credenza, and the original one, there was something broken with the latches and the sides weren't fitting, and I'm like, of course they're not fitting, because that's just how things are going, and like, negative. I don't know why I just snorted like that. But the company was very great. I ordered it from Burrow, and they're great about customer service. It just kind of sucks that like the world has a supply chain shortage of like everything, not just furniture, like lots of stuff, and my couch is one of those things. So I don't have a couch where I'm sitting. I'm sitting right now on just a little ottoman, whatever. There's been a lot of lemons to make into lemonade, and they were all kind of converging. And then I was sick last week. Probably not the best time to vlog, but I don't really regret it either, even though it was so raw. And my thumbnail just looks so sad. But I'm like, you know what? There's certain days where I'm just fucking sad. And it's not the majority of the time, but I don't want to seem like, this is the best thing that's ever happened to me and blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't want to put on that facade because it's really not. I probably should have been, oh my gosh, my tongue. I don't know if you noticed it when I was talking. So I'll be drinking some stuff to dehydrate. I've been having liquid IVs and Gatorades, but I was like wicked dehydrated, man, last week. Didn't even realize. Yeah, there was a combination of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that was going on for me. And what often happens to me and to many human beings is, when there's so many things that are getting piled on and piled on and piled on, it's hard to see through the weeds, and it's hard to get yourself out. And some people, I'll go back and talk about the news. Like I actually did watch the news again, just to look at myself again. I realized that part of why I looked so heavy was that my hair was super fluffy. I do have thick hair, which is great, but I needed to have more product in it to flatten it out, because then my hair looked big, which made my face look big, which just made everything look big, and I'm frustrated with the weight gain. It's not all about weight. It always comes back to the same C word, and it's not that C word, it's the control thing. And back in the day, I was very much a control freak. I admit that. I've been through a lot of things in my life to realize that you can't control everything by far. There's most of the things in life you don't have control over. And if there's a recurring theme when even talking about cancer, not even knowing like my backstory at all, because I mean, clearly what we're on like a year and a half of my cancer journey. I haven't like sat there analyzing my childhood with my psychologist, because that's not really why I'm there. I've done that already. There's just a lot. So to unpack and to address my last vlog, yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot in a short period of time. And then seeing myself on the news just kind of hammered at home that like I don't have control. My sense of timing was off. Like I was just like rushing out to get to the news, and I mean, it's good that I didn't really care super much what I looked like, because like for a month after the flood, I had no makeup, I had no nothing. I didn't have a flat iron, didn't know where stuff was. Like I couldn't do myself up even if I wanted to, because I had nothing. I left with my purse, my purse, my laptop, though it was sitting on the floor in my room when it was getting poured on. So I'm just waiting for that to become toast, and my phone and my keys, and I left, and that was that. And I whatever. Anyway, I didn't have that stuff, and anyone that's gone through a unexpected move that's that fast, it messes you up, man. I mean, and I talked about this in the last vlog too, that when I got divorced, it was an unexpected move, but with a little bit more forewarning than like, you know, the 10 minutes I had when I was in my apartment and there's water pouring everywhere, and they're just telling me to like find a new place to be, and I'm like, what? Yeah. So the take home from my appointment, which was the day after the vlog, was like, cut myself a break. Cut myself a break. And like, people call me resilient. I'm like, okay, I know I'm resilient. I'm tired of having to be resilient. I know I'm strong. I'm tired of having to be strong. Like I was saying with the news, people were telling me like, oh, you look great. And I don't want to really hear that, because it's like, it's negating what I'm thinking. And I understand where their people are coming from when they're like, when you don't think that you look good and other people are like, oh, you look great. I get it's well-meaning, but it's not very validating for me. Because I mean, the reality is people that have known me, like, I have gained 30 pounds. I've gained 30 pounds in a year and a half. And it all happened, like, it seemed like it was pretty quick. It was pretty much when all the meds started. 30 pounds, like, that's no chump change. And all the meds that I'm on are just slowing my metabolism down. And I can fight. I did watch a couple other vlogs too, because there was another vlog that I had maybe 10 or so vlogs ago that was addressing body image. And I'm like, I'm talking about the exact same thing. So let me listen to that one or watch that one and see what I had to say. And, you know, and I forgot. There's so many moving pieces. Like I forgot. Like I forgot that all the meds slowed down my metabolism so much. It was the vlog when I went to see my internist for a physical, and it was like the best appointment I'd had with my internist, because she was just very straight with me. And like, that's what I love about people. But there's so many people that aren't straight. They just pussyfoot around you and they tell you what you want to hear. I mean, sometimes it's great, yeah, but for the most part, I'd rather you be straight with me than tell me what you think I want to hear. Like, I'd rather hear, like, you know, I can hear that you're frustrated about the weight gain. And instead of saying like, oh, you looked great. Even if you thought I looked great. But it wasn't about that. It's about validating the feelings that you're having. And with this whole freaking this C word conversation, there's a lot of validation. Because everyone, or validation that's needed. Because everyone's going through different journeys. Like, you can't try to understand what it's like to be in somebody else's shoes, even if you have the same type of cancer, same stage, same surgery, same meds you're on. Every person's body and how they handle it is different. So you don't know what it's like. You can't judge. The only thing you can do is like listen and be there. I hate when people say, "Oh, I get it," and I'm like, "No, you don't get it." And I don't mean to be a punk, but like, you don't get it. So don't say I get it. I remember being frustrated when I was moving out of the old apartment, and someone said to me, I understand your frustration. And I'm like, do you understand my frustration? Do you understand what it's like to watch, like, you go into your room and all of a sudden there's just water pouring everywhere and your feet are sloshing in like inches deep of water while you're just looking at all your stuff get destroyed? Did that happen to you? Because if it didn't, then you don't know what I feel like. So don't say that. And I get that people don't know what to say, but a lot of times I think the best thing is just to listen. People just want to be heard. So the lesson, like I said, for me was kind of taking a step back and looking at me as an overall person, not just like the person I was last week. And not just the person I saw on the news. It's like, who's the person that's been on the news for, I can't even remember how long I was on the news for, 7 years or so. Like, my personality is what I think shines on the news. And when people tell me that about my personality, that means more to me. When people tell me like I'm a natural, I'm like, yeah, it's awesome. I love doing it. And like, someone pay me for it, please. But it's a matter of honoring yourself, seeing what you've been through, allowing yourself to have those emotions because they're real and they're there and they have to come out in a healthy way. I mean, I could have downed a bottle of friggin' Cabernet if I wanted to, but I didn't. Well, I was not feeling well as it was. I haven't really had much except for like bread and like electrolytes. But it was very helpful for me to have that reminder when I talked to the oncology psychologist on the day after the vlog yesterday, or the vlog last week, or whatever day. Oh my gosh, I don't even know. What's today? Today's Saturday? I don't even know. Oh my gosh. It's been a blur. No, it's just been a couple of days. But one of the things that was brought up too was, as I was saying before, when I went to see the oncologist before my last Lupron, she had mentioned how hard I'm trying to like be calm, like how hard I'm trying to not have anxiety and how hard I'm trying blah, blah, blah. And that maybe it's time to like stop trying so hard and seek a medication route. Now, me personally, I'm very sensitive to medications. I've tried a gamut of them when I went through my divorce, and most of them just didn't work with my body, and I had a ton of side effects. But I'm like, I also understand that sometimes it's time for medication. As I'm looking at my pill box that has like 5 pills in the morning and 5 pills at night. Although some of those are vitamins, but anyway. So I looked at it as a taking care of myself thing and not as like a waving the white flag kind of thing. And I brought it up, and I did have a concern underneath all of it that like, am I going to have new side effects now if I'm trying to start another medication? Am I going to be so numb from not being anxious that I'm just not going to feel at all. It's a very delicate balance when you're dealing with psychiatric medication. And I mean, in theory, I did ask to see the psychiatrist, but the more we're talking about it, I'm like, there are just such large ebbs and flows with this whole process. Plus, I'm like, my hormones are all screwed up because I'm on the Lupron and all that stuff. So like my body is shoving me, or did shove me into menopause. And of course, there's an emotional aspect to that, though I'm 19 months into it now. But, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, even though some stuff is broke, but how broke is broke in order to fix stuff. I don't need to go into my full specifics here, but at the end of the day, for me, I just think it's not a great idea to add something else into the mix. Especially as should hopefully pray that I'm done with the Lupron in 5 more months. I've done it for 19 months on this roller coaster of life, and I can do another 5 months and see what happens. So we will play it by ear. Having said that, I was only seeing the psychologist like once a month, and then he's like, when he says about making a new appointment, I'm like, maybe we should wait a month next time to talk. So increasing those helped. And what's interesting too is that he's male. There's a couple interesting factoids about him, but I'll say the interesting thing that I find is that he's male. I've never worked with a therapist outside of this cancer journey who's male. And having breast cancer, you'd think that speaking to a woman, she might get it more because like she has boobs and a uterus and all those parts. But he is just wonderful at what he does. And yeah, if you're, I know there's some women that are just like very firm on, I will not have a male gynecologist and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'm very grateful that I see him as a psychologist, because he's just, I mean, he's been doing this for a while, but he pegs me pretty quickly, and can see the bigger picture of me. Anyway, I'm happy that I have him. So here's my Vita Coco cheers to him. That's weird. Anyway, so I bought 2 things for myself today. The thing that always comes back is like, there's a lot you can't control. I couldn't control that I got sick last week. Couldn't control that I had a fever. Couldn't control that I was throwing up. Like, I never throw up. You know, find the things that you have control over. When you're in a headspace like I was for that last vlog, I'm like, I don't have control over anything. But I do. Like, it was hot outside the past several days, like unseasonably hot. And I'm like, I literally have one shirt. I'm wearing it. I have one short sleeve shirt that I know is totally clean, and this is it. But not really the kind of shirt I can wear to work. So, oh crap. No, it's gonna be cooler tomorrow. Cause I'm like, crap, I have to wash this now because I wore it today. But I can wear this shirt. Like, it's okay to wear it. And it's the one shirt that I have, and I'll go and get another shirt. And it was interesting because this morning during meditation, a friend of mine said she ordered a dress that she didn't like, and she asked if I wanted it. And I'm like, okay, so now I have 2 things that I can wear when it's warm out until I get all my shit together with the 8,000 billion friggin' clothes in the other room. It will come along. Yeah. I'm still not in a headspace, even though it's been all this time of I've never liked shopping, ever. Like, I don't like clothes shopping. Even when I was thin, it's not about weight. I just don't like clothes shopping. I don't like being in stores. Like, not like that. The lighting and stuff is just all weird. And I take that back. I did buy a shirt at Marshall's that fit me, and it's black, but I don't want to have to wear dark or like black all the time to hide stuff. But anyway, I had a kindness rock in my secretary in my room, my old room, that Lord knows where it is because that secretary got demolished with the whole flooding thing. But the kindness rock was gold, painted gold. Someone else made it. I think I found it at the Kindness Rocks garden in Bedford, if you live in Bedford. And it said, "Don't let anyone dull my sparkle." And I don't think of myself as like a sparkly kind of person, but like there are things to me that make me like sparkly. So the things that like I'm good at that make me stand out, I would put it by my monitor, just to remind me like when I was working and stuff, like, you know, just to empower myself. But I have no idea where the rock is, and I needed to find some things that were going to remind me of like who Jen is at the core. What you saw last vlog was part of who I am. Like you know, I have a bad poker face. I show my emotions, and that's okay. I get along better actually with people that do show emotion than people that are just like stone cold all the time and don't show anything. Anyway, so I went to the store today to buy something for somebody else, not for me. And then I came across this. I was looking for coasters. I'm like, this is like the biggest coaster. Look, it's the size of my face. It's like the biggest coaster ever. But, but I thought I would put it in my kitchen just to remind me. It says, "Don't be afraid to sparkle a little brighter." Because it was not sparkling very bright last week, or not last week, a couple days ago at all. And yeah, I just kind of needed a reminder that I still have that sparkle, that like, yes, I might not look great on the news, but you know what? Most of the time people just have the news on the background anyway, and they're not even like looking at the TV. And if I can amuse someone in some way, then that's like awesome. But I was just remembering the things that like I could do. With the weather being warmer, and you guys have seen my kayaking vlogs and stuff, like I need to, it's gonna get colder again, but like I need to get back out in the water. It just calms me down. And I'm grateful that like my surgery went well, that I'll be able to do that. Again, taking it easy, because I don't know how it's gonna be like this early out with kayaking. But I put the friggin' credenza together on my own, and in the box said like 2 people. I'm like, 2 people, screw that, I can do it on my own. Nothing broke, nothing got scratched. I can't say it was easy to maneuver, but I did it. Was I being stubborn about it? Absolutely. Did people offer help? Yes, they did. And I said no. And it was kind of, I just wanted to do it to show myself I could do it. It's not like this humongous piece. Like it's whatever. It's pretty. I like it. But yeah, it was a matter of like, what do I have control over? I don't have control over the couch not being here. I do have control over that. Oh, and the cable guy came yesterday, I think. One cable guy came, told me that my TV is basically toast, can't be used at all anymore. I need a new TV if I want to have cable at all. Not even just cable, like having any of my streaming apps work either. And of course that like just set me for a loop too. And he was so condescending with me, and I was so irritated. And I sat with that for a day and was sad. It was probably the same day that I vlogged. And then yesterday, or no, at nighttime, I got protective of myself. I admit I have not done the mirror work, although I did buy a mirror. It came in Amazon, but it's too short. Like I'm tall, and I have to like bend over looking at that mirror, and I have to buy one that's taller. But oh, that's interesting as I say that, because I had the mirror, and I plugged it in to see if it would work and stuff, and to see what I look like, because I haven't seen my face in like anything bright except like the visor mirror. So it was interesting to look at myself in the mirror there, and I'm like, oh, that's what I've been doing with my eyeshadow for the past 2 months. Anyhow, I need to get a new one. But I didn't do the mirror work that I was talking about, and I need to come back to that. But like I know if I do the mirror work, I'm going to cry again, or I didn't want to cry again because I just got so much out when I was on the vlog before. The other thing that I got today which is not so sparkly. Same store. It's like a pink, you know how much I love pink. It's a pink glittery journal. But it says, "Not today, Satan." With a black pen with like little glitteries, like, woo, look how they come down. Isn't that cool? I don't usually buy things about Satan, but I feel like I've been very religious lately and going to church and praying and like with all the crazy that's been going on. And I'm like, is there some lesson to teach? I don't understand. And then the label has a little cauldron on it. And I saw this and I started cracking up inside the store and I'm like, I need this journal. It was stupid overpriced. It's handmade. I mean, not the, not the actual journal part, the stamp, I guess. It's like kind of a three-dimensional stamp too with the pen. But it was the point that it's like, no, like, oh, I knew that was gonna happen. Hold on a minute, it just stopped pausing. Where's the remote? Wait, is that the TV? That sounds almost like a train. That's not the TV. I don't even know what sounds are here. I feel like I live in a city where I used to be like country mouse and like everything just sounds different. I don't even know what that sound just was. Anyway, but yeah, there's been so much stuff that's happened and I've been going to church, I've been getting communion, I've been praying, I've been like, trying to understand, like, did I do something that I have to repent for? I don't understand. And then I talk about that book, When Bad Things Happen to Good People, which is someplace in a box somewhere in my storage unit. It's a really good book. It's a really good read. There's one part basically that like, not everything has meaning. And it's hard to think that way when all this stuff starts to happen. It's like, like, why does all this stuff happen? Why did my freaking apartment have to flood a week after? It was 6 days after my surgery. Like not 6. It was a week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It was 8 days after my surgery that the apartment flooded. And I'm like, why did it have to flood now? Like, I can't move my freaking arms. And anyway, ignore that. Like, I didn't understand why. But after reading that book, I understood that, you can look for meaning in certain things, and then sometimes there just is no meaning, and it just is what it is. And there's no reason why. It's just 'cause. Like, it just happened. Random things happen, and that's just what it is. And they talked a little bit about, like, the God being around, and then, life isn't always perfect because there is evil in this world, like, enter Satan. There's evil in this world, and like, it's not like God's always like, no, Satan, you just like sit down and chill down south and do whatever you need to do. Like, that evil presence and however you believe in that is always around. Like, there's always sin in this world. There's always like negative things happening in this world. It's not a utopian world. So when I saw this, I'm like, if you believe in Satan, like, Satan's around, but so is God. But if something's gonna go wrong, it's like, nope, not today. Please not today, just not today. You had your days. You had your days when you flooded my apartment. You had your days when you put these freaking cancer cells in my body, which are now gone. Like, you had your days. Today is not that day. So, no. Not today. So that is here. I have no idea what I'm going to write in the journal, but it's there. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it'll be my empowerment journal. My satanic pink glittery gratitude journal. I don't know. I did get the episode up on Neighbors to Know. I just uploaded it, I think, yesterday. The one that was just kind of it's at youtube.com/neighbors to know. It was the one that was just like why I'm on hiatus, and I have 3 shows that were in the works that I hope to get back to finish them up. I just don't know when it's going to happen. In the meantime, let me focus on some positive things. So like I can sit on this side of the room, which is exciting. My son is in town, and that's exciting, and I'll see my other son tomorrow, and that's exciting. My TV is working. I apparently suck at Super Mario Brothers. I used to be really good at it, but that's okay. I went to, I got plates that I really like, and they had like pasta bowls or dinner bowls, seemed to be like the new kind of like ceramic stoneware, whatever, to get. And when I went to the store, they only had 2, and the 2 they had were damaged. Well, I went today to see if they had 3, and not only did they had 3, they had several boxes of sets of 4, and I'm like, oh! So I bought 2 sets of 4 of the bowls. So now I have a complete set of plates and bowls and salad plates, and hurrah, things will come along. Yeah, things will come along. I can't even think as I'm looking around. I cleaned up a bunch of stuff here, and it was kind of physically tiring. Oh, I bought new sheets for my bed. That was exciting. They're like super, super soft. And what's interesting is I'm not having like night or hot flashes anymore at night. I keep the window open in my room overnight, but just the way that it's angled and stuff is very different from my old place. But I rarely, at least not that wake me up. I've been sleeping like through the night. I sound like a baby. I've been sleeping through the night. Gosh, at least a week and a half or so. 2 weeks? I don't know. It's been a bit. Which is kind of a big deal because I used to just like get up every like 2 or 3 hours with a fan in my face and fall back asleep. So I'm very happy that that's not the case anymore. So there is good. I got a ukulele. That's random. Somebody was giving away a ukulele, and I'm like, I have my flute. My flute was on. My flute was in my closet during the pandemic, or the pandemic, during the flood, my own pandemic. During the flood, it looks kind of nasty because I don't know what it actually got, and I have no idea where my sheet music is. I know that my copy of Sleigh Ride, which I played for every winter concert for like eons, was on the floor, probably because I had played it easily for Christmas. It was on the floor, and it was folded in half and stuck together, and that made me sad. But I have a lot of sheet music, and I had books too. I just don't know where they are, and I'm not the kind of person that just picks up a flute and just starts playing something. I know one song from marching band that I memorized, and that's pretty much it. But someone was giving away a ukulele, and I'm like, you know what? I could see myself like chilling out on my one chair I have in here, playing the ukulele, singing off key. I think that would be awesome. So I need to find an app. If you know one, let me know. And tune the ukulele and get practicing on it. So things I have control over, that's what I'm doing. But the main thing is just to cut myself a break, and for you also to cut yourself a break. You know, like Rome wasn't built in a day. Putting this body back together again, like everything takes time. And patience is hard. I'm working on that patience thing, but I'm better at it. But I just need to remind myself that like things take time, and it's okay, and to be forgiving with myself, and to be more honoring of the journey that I've been through before. I shake off a lot more than I did like back in the day. Like there's a dog barking outside that used to annoy the shit out of me. And I just like, now it's just such not a big problem. Like I don't care. He'll just stop eventually, or she. In general, like when you get the C word, a lot of things just don't matter anymore. And it's like, I don't really care. Yeah. So it's a discovery of finding out who you are. You have these like fits and the fits of rage and fits of sadness, and it's okay to let those out. And I did separate myself a bit. Well, I wasn't feeling well too, but like I'm like, if I'm just not around people, people won't like disappoint me or whatever. But I had a really good day at work on Friday. And then like today I was coming in with a cart full of stuff from grocery shopping and the other shopping that I went. And I don't know, I looked back or something and some guy was there. Oh, because it seemed like he was dropping off, after you've gone through a divorce with kids, you get the lingo of like when parents aren't together and you're dropping off the kids, like what you say. And there was a woman who was like waiting for a long amount of time outside of my apartment, and then the guy came out and was saying what a good job I don't know, I think it was his daughter did or something like that. It was just very sweet. So like when I was packing up my stuff, like I just peeked up and was like, oh, that's nice or whatever. And then he stopped at the door and like, I think he thought I was like, oh, like, I don't know, thinking chivalry was dead. I don't know. And then he offered like help bringing in my groceries, like not in a creepy way, like in a helpful way. And I'm like, no, I got it. Cause I can do everything on my own. It was a lot of stuff I was taking inside. He's like, you sure? And I was like, yeah, like I got it. I'm good. I'm like, are you flirting with me? I'm sorry. Did I miss that? Anyhow, it's fine. Yeah, there are kind people out there, and there is good out there. And you have to remember the good and the kind that you are too, to be gentle with yourself as you're going through this. It's a lot. It changes you forever. It does. And not necessarily in a bad way, it just changes you. And it's okay to have, outbursts like that. Not outbursts. It's okay to like cry and have a really ugly cry and get it out rather than like keeping it all bottled up inside or taking it out in an unhealthy way. So that's what I'm leaving you with today, is to honor yourself, to honor your journey, to get that, you do have control over some things. So think what you do have control over that would make you happy, that could get you like out of a rut. And that's what you need to focus on. And you don't have to focus on like 12 different things. Because I'm like, oh, I could do this and I could do this and I could do this. And then I'm overwhelmed because I'm like, I want to do now all of those things. But, I just did something. I bought my Satan journal. Anyway. All right. I'm going to sign off now. Thank you guys all and gals all for your support. And I'll check in again soon. Bye.